Because there was no celebrities there Saturday, we were the entertainment.
Oh, I see. Hello and welcome to another interesting video. This is all about Britain's Got Talent. Today I'm joined with Jim, who is a regular on this channel, and you've seen videos of Jim before talking about interesting subjects, but I'll let you look that up. Also, we've got Mark. Now, Mark is pretty new to the channel, so Mark, a little introduction to what you do and how did you get into magic?
Right, basically I was about 7 years old and my mother bought me a book one Christmas, I believe. And I've actually found an extended copy of that, but I can't remember the title of it. I think it's just called Magic Tricks.
Right, okay.
And from there I seem to get into it. Loved Copperfield as a kid. A lot older than I look. Fine. Copperfield, my hero was David Nixon. Another one. Siegfried and Roy.
Okay.
Doug Hemingway, all the old classics, loved them for bits.
Perfect. And what is your style of magic now?
I've actually changed now about 2 years ago into more mentalism, mind reading and things like that.
Okay, interesting. And at the end of the video, we'll give people information on where to find you, your social media and that sort of thing. But let's get into this topic straight away. Now, Jim and Mark both auditioned for Britain's Got Talent this year that just passed. And again, this video is not about saying who's the better magician and that sort of thing. We all know everyone's different, everyone's unique on this channel, everyone's good in their own way. But this is just to give you an insight. So I want to thank Jim and Mark for doing this. To be honest, most people wouldn't do this. So let's go right from the start. So you've seen the Britain's Got Talent 2000 and whatever, 18, 19, and then it says at the end, now auditions are open to apply, so you can apply for auditions. How do you do that?
Well, there's a couple of ways to go on Britain's Got Talent. I mean, there might be another way, but the two obvious ways are, one, you can apply and then turn up on the day and queue up where you see it on the TV with all the thousands of people, hundreds of people, thousands probably. I don't know how many was there Saturday, but it was probably well over 1,000.
Couple of thousand.
Or you get headhunted by a talent scout. And they will go out and they will look at things like this, the YouTube videos, and they will contact you if they can get a way of contacting you, and they will audition you separately away from that. I've never had that opportunity to do that, although I'll explain in a moment. That was a kind of a cross between the two I had.
So that's what you did. So in short, they emailed you and asked you to come, and also you applied.
Yes, what happened was I applied, and in the meantime they contacted me and asked me to come in, and they wanted to do some filming extracts for the TV series, probably for some of the parts that you see in between the acts. And I said, well, I've already been offered an audition, and they said, oh, we didn't know that. We're sorry, but we'll do the whole thing on the one day. And there was just a bit of a disaster happened, which.
So we're going to get back to that. And Mark, what about you?
Basically, this is the 5th time I've been. It's the 2nd or 3rd time I've actually gone through. This was the longest day, I will admit.
Wow, okay.
And you've got to keep yourself fresh. I was there, arrived there well before 10 o'clock. I met Jim on the tube, because I know Jim anyway. And was told to turn up at 10 o'clock. We turned up, there was already about 1,000 people there. I'd say it was about 2,000 in total in our group.
Wow.
And there's another session come at 2 o'clock. Well, it was a long day. I got a first audition, or I got my first audition at 5 o'clock.
Wow.
And you're tired, you're weary and everything else. I changed state. I switched myself into state. I'm a hypnotherapist by profession. It's one of the things I do. And I've hypnotised myself as soon as I walk in, click, I'm on. And I did. I never got home till 10:30 at night, and I left home about 7:30 in the morning, so it was a hell of a long day.
So that is a long day, right? So to be prepared, if you are going to do this and you want to queue up with these thousands of people, you are going to be there all day. Do you have any tips for them to get some food, snacks, water?
Take snacks with you. I took 2 flasks of boiling water, but I forgot to take these little coffee sachet things that you get already made up. So there was a little tea bar, but it wasn't much there. I always pack a picnic, sandwiches and bits and pieces. You will need it. It is an extremely long day, but you have to be patient.
And are they filming the cameras on continuously, so you never know what's going to be filmed? Or?
When we first arrive, you go into the first holding room, which is downstairs, a massive great rooms that we did the London ones, it was the Excel Centre. We was actually standing up for about 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Then they took us upstairs, and Jim and two of that, they took us separately, but they do actually take the group up. They put in another holding room where you'll be sitting in there, and they'll divide you into groups. They'll then take you from there into a corridor, and you'll wait again. So that's about 3 waits already.
Wow. Okay. Okay. So Jim.
I mean, I don't want to put anybody off Britain's Got Talent at all.
Okay.
Please don't feel put off. You know, please do apply, because if you don't apply, you may never know. The staff themselves probably had a lot of problems on the day. They were telling me there was a lot of things to overrun and so on. The problem that we had was that we got there at 10 o'clock, and we were there way before 10 o'clock. And the agreement was that I was going to be taken up to do some filming. Somehow the communication got not passed forward to the person that I was supposed to. We got brought up there, and I did tell them that we were going to be meeting this gentleman, I won't say his name, and there was some confusion because when we got up there, for some strange reason they brought us up there not to film but to entertain the people that were getting bored. And that was the bit that kind of was a little bit messy. And then the day went on, like Mark said, that it was about 5 o'clock before he got auditioned, and then it was near 5 o'clock that the gentleman caught up with me that was supposed to film me, and he came out and he apologised, profoundly apologised for what happened, and he said, you should have been in audition this morning at 10 o'clock, and you should have been in here filming with me straight after 10 o'clock, and it all should have been done. He said, I'm really sorry that it went wrong. So the day just got kind of worse as it went on, but it's not just us that had to go through that. There was some very young children there but I met some amazing people. I mean, I got a booking that day.
So there we go. So I just want to make a quick point. So would that process of being there all day, would that be worth it? You getting a booking out of it? Is that worth you meeting all these people?
Maybe,
if nothing else.
Maybe. It depends on your approach. I mean, Mark's been to more than me. I went a couple of years ago and I got all the way through to the end, and I didn't get shortlisted as like the level that Mark's got to now. But if you did get selected, it would be worth that wait. But if you don't go, you're never going to know. So I wouldn't say to people don't go. I'd just say to people, be prepared to have a long day. And the only other thing that I would say is that it's a little bit harder for magicians. It's a lot harder for magicians than it is many of the others, because dancers now, because magicians, there's a coordinator or several coordinators involved, and unless you can get working with those coordinators, there's very little chance that you're going to be successful in the process of going through with Britain's Got Talent. That is a fact, and that is. But the good thing is we know that. But dancers, singers, I don't know. They probably have their coordinators as well. But I know it's really hard for magicians. Very, very difficult. But saying that, two got placed last year, second and third. So that
was good. So really, I think lately it's been really good for magic. And you said, Mark, you've been doing it for about 5 years, and you said twice you've got selected. Now, did you get onto the TV?
No, I didn't actually get onto the TV, and I even told them that I was filming for a pilot 3 or 4 years ago with my day job, because this is more of a hobby than anything. One good thing I will say about it, although I knew Jim here this time, I have met a lot of friends there. I've kept in contact with other magicians. There was a lady there on Saturday. She took our numbers. She's into event management and things like that, so it could be nice bit of networking. I didn't actually take much more than my audition tricks this time, but before I've been there entertaining people, made a lot of contacts and friends, and they've stayed in with me. I won't give names, but when Richard Jones won the year afterwards, I was talking to a guy next to me and I said, Richard's over there, and I met him in an audition for something else. You ever met him? He said, I should do, he's one of my mates. And then we actually ended up in Richard's YouTube video, because he came along and done a thing with us.
Right.
You never know who's going to turn up on the day.
And that's important, I think. Exactly.
So it's a bit like a lottery. You've got to be in it to win it.
Yeah, true.
But because there was no celebrities there Saturday, we were the entertainment.
Yeah. So be prepared to do that too. But you said you didn't make it to TV. So how many rounds are there? When people assume, when they watch it on TV and they see all these people queuing up, and the next thing they see them on TV. But that's not what actually happens, is it?
Can I just say, I know, because Richard told me directly that he was down here a few weeks ago, how this works, and Richard's got something where if you sign up to it, he will send you Richard Jones this is, he will send you the information on the process of this. It's a lot more explanatory probably when it's in an email, because he sends you in stages. But what will happen is you turn up at the day, if you go through that method that we did, and you audition. If you get selected, then the first round you will then be sent to another audition in the same place on the same day. You will take that audition, and it's at that point, at that audition, they will then tell you, we will be in touch with you. Now it's where they film you on that audition. Now that audition is filmed because the person sitting in the room, okay, he's not making the entire decision, because other producers then have got to look at it, and they've got a bit like Simon Cowell does when he and the other magicians have to look at all these pictures and decide on the acts that they're going to put through, and that's what they do. Then you'll get, if you're lucky enough, you'll get invited to one of the venues. It might be Blackpool, it might be Liverpool, it might be London, anywhere, and you will get onto the live show. Now if you're on the live show, you've got to bear in mind there's no guarantee that your footage will be shown, because there's too many people. That's an important thing to understand, that when they film you, there's no guarantee that you will be on TV. So you might be lucky, because again they've got to whittle it down to a digestible chunk for TV. And then obviously then there's the final selection, where if you get through to the semi-finals, if you are selected for that, then you are at that point where you can't talk about it at all. But once you're in that process, you can't talk about Britain's Got Talent anyway, like we can now at this point in time. But once you're in contract, you can't talk about it. So it's quite a tough old process, and it's not easy. And I admire the ones that have done really well and got through. But no, don't be put off. Yeah. We just had a bad day, or sorry, I had a bad day anyway.
Yeah. So at the moment you've gotten through, and they've told you straight away, you're not going through this one. No,
I'm not going to be this one. I was told that my act needed to be a stage act rather than a close-up. You've got to bear in mind that whoever you've got several different producers in different rooms. I could have gone into another room like last time, and they could have gone, hey, do you know what? We want you. We love that act. And also you've got to bear in mind that, as Mark said, it's a long old day. They're sitting there watching everything all day, and they probably get to the point where they just don't want to see any more. And if you just walk into the room and you've got somebody that's tired, and maybe magic isn't their thing, that producer, you just might be unfortunate. I'm not saying that is what happened, but it could. So therefore you just got to have an open mind that I personally think that it's not about how good you are. I think it's whether you are what they are looking for.
You tick their boxes.
Regardless of your talent, it may be how you look, could be what they're looking for, how you talk, how you present yourself. It could be something. You could be the worst artist in the world, and you could be just what they're looking for.
True.
That's what I believe.
I think this is a great insight on what it is like to audition for Britain's Got Talent. Now the final question is, are you going to do it again?
I don't want to answer that one, because I've been contacted by them since weekend, and I have to make my mind up whether I would like to follow it up, but I don't think I'll be doing it again this year. No, no, I've got to concentrate on my show.
And Mark, are you going to do it again?
I've applied 5 times now, gone through. You do your first audition. If you pass that, they give you actually got it on me. They give you a slip.
Oh,
I don't know if you can see it on the camera. That is a slip to go downstairs. And that takes you to the second stage,
right?
Where again you wait, but this time it's been different. This time they had 2 producers and a camera, and they do video you, and you ask a bit about yourself, and then you do your act. They did seem to like what I did this time. Last time, I think, or the time before, I had one guy who totally, I don't think, was into magic. He didn't even seem to pay attention. I think it depends who you get on the day, as Jim said.
Yeah.
Jim went to a different producer for his first audition to what I did. While one absolutely loved what I did, and blah blah. It's very difficult, because now you've got to go. They'll give you a slip of paper, and you go away, and you wonder if you can get that phone call, and you keep sort of thinking, "Shall I look at the phone?" Just leave it, is what I'd say. If it's meant to happen, it will happen, as Jim said. If you're what they're looking for, great. It just depends.
Like I heard Susan Boyle did it like 10 times something before she actually
did she
got
really?
through. That's what I heard.
I never realised that.
She did many times before she actually got through.
I mean, the insight I've got, the insight that I've got is, it's not that long ago. It's only about 2 or 3 months ago. I became a producer myself. I had to appoint myself a producer of a new show, which we talked about in the previous video.
Yeah, go watch that if you haven't.
Magicians at the Moat, and it's becoming that producer of that show. I've had to decide who I can have on the show and who I can't. And this next show coming up has got to be different to the last show. and the type of people I've chosen are a completely different mix, and I'm performing on the show as well, and I've had to change my act as well. I don't particularly want to be on the next show because I think I've got to create a bit of room for other people, but I've got the insight of what I was talking to this Britain's Got Talent coordinator a few weeks ago, that I now know that it's whatever the producer's looking for, and I know what I'm looking for the next one, and some people have been a bit upset that I haven't put them on the show, so I do understand.
But if not this time, next time.
I also think it's what the public wants. At the moment, I think magic, mentalism, that is big again in this country.
It is.
As you can see from the online the competition, Britain's Got Talent. There's so many magicians in. Was it this year compared with other years? Last year, I think quite a few got through, but there's more and more.
Yeah.
We go back a few years ago, there was no magicians in Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah. I know.
And I think they found that the public are interested in this. Online, Facebook, a lot of magicians were contacted this year.
Right.
Where they emailed.
Yeah.
I'd already signed up, then I got an email.
Right.
And I think a lot of magicians have been, because they realise how popular magic is again.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like fashion, isn't it? Maybe it went out of fashion, but now they realise, yeah.
So that's good. So now's your chance. If you want to apply, this is the time to apply. But anyways, I think I want to thank you, gentlemen, for this wonderful video, a little insight to what BGT is all about. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, give it a little thumbs up and mention in the comments, because every time I meet people, like, oh, we're watching your YouTube channel. And I said, well, you're never commenting. I don't know who's watching it. So yeah, say a little hi from whoever's watching, so at least I know you're watching. Until next time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye. That's how the video starts. Oh, actually, before we do that, let's just do a thumbnail shot. So let's just like do a pose or something. What do you want to do? Your Kancho Jim thing? Yeah. We can all, yeah, just a little thumbnail. Okay, so 1, 2, and yeah, come a little closer. Stick as close as possible. Yeah, yeah. So I want to be able to. I want to be able to go a little behind just because I want to look at your face.
Okay.
Hey guys, I'm Matteo. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Brendan's channel.